Hey guys, welcome back to KidsTV for Run and Sprint. I wonder what today's episode's about. Do you guys think you know? But anyway, let's get started.
And today we are going to worship and we're going to sing about the amazing grace of Jesus. But I need your help with something. So today we're going to show Jesus our best dance moves. This is mine and I want to see yours, okay? Okay, so now it's your turn to show me yours. Who breaks the power of sin and darkness? Whose love is mighty and so much stronger? The King of glory, the King above all kings. Who shakes the whole earth with holy thunder? Who leaves us breathless in awe and wonder? The King of glory, the King above all kings. This is amazing grace. This is unfailing love, that you would take my place, that you would bear my cross. You laid down your life, that I would be set free. Oh, Jesus, I sing for all that you've done for me. Remember to keep showing Jesus your best dance moves. Who brings our chaos back into order? Who makes the orphan a son and daughter? The King of glory, the King above all kings. Who rules the nations with truth and justice, shines like the sun in all of his brilliance. The King of glory, the King above all kings. This is amazing grace. This is unfailing love, that you would take my place, that you would bear my cross. You laid down your life, that I would be set free. Oh, Jesus, I sing for all that you've done for me. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy, worthy, worthy. Oh, this is amazing grace. This is unfailing love, that you would take my place, that you would bear my cross. You laid down your life, that I would be set free. Oh, Jesus, I sing for all that you've done for me.
welcome back to KidsTV for Run and Sprint. I'm Jo and I'm going to be bringing the Bible story and teaching to you today. But first of all, I want you to think, what has been the nicest thing that someone has ever done for you? Maybe they've shared some sweets with you. Maybe your friend has helped you with their homework, or maybe when you've been at home with your siblings, they've allowed you to play the game with them that you've always wanted to play. Why don't you just think and talk to other people? What has been the nicest thing that someone has ever done for you? Or maybe it could be when you've been ill, someone has looked after you and they've been nice and they've shown you care and compassion. And this week's story is about this. It's about someone who was ill and they needed some help and someone showed them compassion. The story is called The Good Samaritan. So why don't you go find your Bibles now, or it's going to come up on the screen, and we're going to read Luke 10:25 to 37. So pause the video now and let's read this and we'll come back later. So this story was about someone who was in need, and some people walked past and just completely ignored him. How would you feel if somebody was to walk past you if you was in need? I would probably feel quite invisible. I would feel not worthy, but I know that is how I'm not meant to feel. Whereas the Good Samaritan, he comes along and what does he do? He stops what he's doing out of his way and he helps him. He shows kindness and compassion. And what is kindness? Well, kindness is being like a best friend. It's being friendly to all people. Like I asked earlier, what's been the nicest thing that someone has done? They showed kindness to you in that moment. Or compassion. What is compassion? Well, compassion is to see someone who is suffering and to take action, to step in, to show the help that people need. And we're called to take action. As Jesus says at the end, go do likewise. Be like the Good Samaritan. And we can take action and we can do the same thing. And at Kerith, we sponsor 2 kids called Deo and Alondra. And sponsoring them, we are able to offer them support. We are able to give them money so they have education and healthcare and food, and they're able to do all the fun things that we are able to do here too. So what can you do this week to show kindness and compassion? Well, why don't you write a letter to Deo and Alondra? Write to them, what is it that you want them to know about the love of Jesus, or about what you get up to, or what do you want them to know? Or maybe when you're in school this week, how can you be the kindest person there is? Because when we're kind to people, we get to share and show the love of Christ. So do something kind this week, be a compassionate person, and take some time to write a letter to Deo and Alondra.
I've got 2 friends that we haven't spoken about recently on here. They are Alondra and Deo. And don't forget, we sponsor these guys through Compassion. When you meet on Sundays in your site, in your kids group, so many of you bring your money Now, because we're not meeting at the moment, we are still sponsoring them, and we thought we'd give you and your grown-ups an opportunity to give some money to sponsor them if that's something you'd like to do. Rather than bringing your coins, bringing your pennies on Sunday, you can do that online. So grown-ups, you can go to kerith.church/giving, and you can select the bit that says other giving, and under there's a drop down that says Compassion Kids, and you can give some money if you'd like to do that towards Deo and Alondra. It looks after their physical needs, it looks after their emotional needs, and it looks after their spiritual needs, that money that you give.
Hi everyone, I'm Kyra. It's great that today we are learning about being kind to others and to be reminded about our friends Deo and Alondra, who we sponsor at Kerith Kids. They obviously live a long way from us, and it got to me thinking about how we can help our neighbours close to home as well. Not just who live in the houses next door, but the people who we pass in the streets, families we know from church and school. My dad Andy works for Kerith Revive, and the team do some really cool stuff to look after, love and show kindness to people who need a little bit of help. I thought I'd ask him some questions about it. So Dad, why don't you tell my friends at Kerith Kids about some of the things that you do at Kerith Revive to help other people?
Okay, Kyra, I'm really pleased to hear that you're interested in finding out how you can help other people in the local community. I think that's brilliant. Well done. So yes, I work for Kerith, and I'm part of the Revive team, and what we do is help people in the local community that might not necessarily be part of the church or come along to church, but they're people that live close by that for whatever reason might be struggling with different things in their life. Some of these things might be their money, so what we find is quite a lot of people spend a little bit more money than what they actually have, and that can lead to all sorts of different problems with them. So we help them to be able to spend their money and plan how they spend their money a little bit better. If people are looking for a job, we can help them find work. We found that a lot of people recently with the COVID pandemic have unfortunately lost their jobs, so we can help them look for work and help them better prepare themselves to enter work. And we also have a project that helps people to read and write, and some people we see have come over from a different country and English isn't their first language, so we can help them to read and write. Or perhaps it's people that when they were younger they used to go to school, but for whatever reason perhaps they didn't learn to read and write as well as they would like, so we can help them too. And then we also have what we call a food bank, and you might have heard of food bank before because they're all up and down the country in England. And what we do is we see people that come to us that perhaps they haven't got enough money to buy food for them or their families, and we'll give them a week's supply of food, and we'll sit down with them and have a cup of tea and a chat and find out what's going on in their lives and where they might be struggling with, and help them. And we always look to pray for them as well, because we know that prayer works, and that's a great way that we can be helping people as well. And just to give you a little bit of an idea of how many people we help at Food Bank. So last month we provided enough food for 140 adults and 128 children. And to give you a bit more of an idea of how much that is, so we gave 1.5 tons of food and about 1.4 tons of other things like toiletries and things that help people, and that is the equivalent of 2 family-sized cars in weight. So you can imagine how much food that is. So that's just a little bit of an idea about some of the things that we do in Kerith Revive.
Wow, thanks so much for telling us about those things. I love hearing about food banks especially. So I'm 10 years old, how can I help people? I know I can bring some of my pocket money to sponsor Deo and Alondra. What can I do to help people who live closer to us?
Okay, Kyra, well, seeing as you mentioned food bank, I think that's one area that you could help. And what I'm thinking you could do is next time we go food shopping, we'll make sure we go to a supermarket that has got a food bank collection point. And what you can do, or whenever your friends go shopping with their mums and dads or their carers, is pick up a few little extra bits and pieces from the aisles, whether it's some pasta or some tins or some drinks or whatever, and put those in the food bank collection points, which are normally found at the exits of the different supermarkets. And And like I said before as well, it's always good to pray for people. That's a great way that you can be helping people and showing people love in the community as well.
Thank you so much for telling us all about that, Dad. Don't forget, Kerith for Kids, to look out for your local food bank. Our mums and dads are very busy people, so let's remind them of how we can help those in need and show God's love and kindness to them.
Hey guys, hope you enjoyed that video. Tell me, what did you enjoy about that? Yeah, okay. Well, hope you have a great week. See you next time. Goodbye.